Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today it is episode 48 of The Rant. AI music sucks. Hello. Good morning. Oh, give me a second, because my lighting's just not sexy enough. There we go. That's better. Hey, it's a bit darker in here. Hello. Welcome to the show. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. Yeah, you all doing good out there? Wow, what a massive weekend that just occurred. That just proves this community is why I do this every day. Yeah? It just... Oh. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling it, folks? If you don't know, yesterday was an event put on by a man called Camp G-May. And eccentric, wonderful, big-hearted, stoner, just like no other, Camp G-May. And he's put on a whole collection of these events. And yesterday was his Country Fest. And it brought together many, many artists yet again to play and perform on a big stage and support each other. And no matter if you like the music or not, I'm not a big country fan, you know. But I was in there as well, giving it a go and having a bit of fun. And that's what it's all about, supporting each other and being utterly entertained for hours on end, right? Just an utterly fantastic event, and can't wait for the next one. And I feel the pressure on top of Gary to constantly put on a better show each time. But the thing is, you don't need to worry about that, because everybody's so good, they bring their game. They just bring their game. And it's not about it, that Gary just can put it out there and the people come. You and me, the part of this community that is different in so many different ways, and everybody's so different and unique. But when it comes time to pull it together, we pull it together, right? So thank you, G-May, for putting on such a great event. And why am I starting with this today? Well, because I'm not just going to get up here today and just tell you AI sucks and say goodbye. We need to go on a journey, right, to understand why. And bear with me, I've only got an hour of your time to talk about this, but trust me, we'll get to the place that I want to go to today to finish this subject. But let's say hello to people who are here right now. And Thomas Christ, our wonderful mod, Audible Video, hello, covered by CQ, Chris Lane Sr., good to see you, my friend. John Barry Glenn, Hugh Caldwell, Chad Freeman, Barry Glenn. Sorry, I'm out of breath because I had to run upstairs with my coffee. I was running late. Michael Thompson, who I'm interviewing this week on the channel. Finally, Stu Cash. What's going on, Stu? Good to see you. Green Hell, hello. Let's see if I missed anyone. Ed Zielinski, boom. So today's topic isn't just something I pulled out of my ass, all right? It's just not something for me to yell at clouds over. It's something that I've thought about. Like most things, I put a lot of consideration into the rants, what I'm talking about. It's not just clickbait to try and get you here. Sith, love you lots. Kim Hudson, howdy, howdy. Mateusz Prakowski, my fellow bandmate. We're going to have a new song out soon, me and Mateusz. E-Urban, g'day, g'day. Solidarity. All right. So let's get into this. Let me have a sip of coffee, and we're going to get to this point. So come with me on a journey today. All right. As I said, let's go to the beginning of why I do this. For the longest time, before I started this YouTube channel as How to App on iOS or whatever it is, Jade Starr, whatever, I don't know what I do here. It's such a mash of things. I can't say mishmosh because that's copyright. I've got my coffee today, Joe. Yes, indeed. I used to hang out on Pete John's channel and some other people's channels and a lot in other Facebook groups. And I used to try and help a lot of people with apps and recording, but it was all sitting typing and doing all that kind of stuff. And it's really hard to type to people, as you well know. Things get lost in translation, and it's not always easy to explain what you're trying to explain to somebody who's already lost, trying to fix something or do something a little bit better. So I joined Pete Johns' channel and became a moderator there, and was able to fill a blank in Pete's channel where he didn't really review apps. And I was into apps and using third-party stuff with the same kind of stuff like GarageBand that he was using. So I was able to fill that gap and help people with the apps when somebody would go, hey, I've got this app. And people would go, Jade's in the chat. And as time went on, I went, maybe I need to move it to YouTube and do it here and have a direct one-on-one with people. It was never to make money or anything like that. It was because out of a genuine care to help people and share the knowledge that I have over almost nearly 40 years of being in the music industry. And that's it. And sometimes these things kind of take off a little bit, and then all of a sudden you're making some money. And then if you stop doing it and you don't make the money, you can't pay the bills. And it feels the weight of it is crushing sometimes, doing a YouTube channel. I know there's a lot of people want to get out there and get monetized and stuff, and then when you do and you rely on that money, guess what? Month to month, you got to get it, or you. So I'm not saying that it hasn't become, it's become less fun. It's just there's an added pressure to continue to keep feeding the algorithm, because the algorithm's a mean bitch and it just needs more and more. And you probably look at this channel here and go, why do you put out so much stuff? And it's not because I'm trying to flood you guys with content, but it's because the algorithm just continues to cry. Hey, it's him, Bradley. Everybody, there he is. It's him, Bradley. Hey, Brad. So there's that. Now why am I explaining that? Because it's all going to make sense. So running a YouTube channel, you want to try and listen to people and hear what they want, and hopefully deliver something that's going to be broadly appeal to people, and at the same time keep you interested, because you got to enjoy, you got to be passionate, you got to be passionate about the things that you're doing, but be broad, but be interesting as well, and not be the same thing every week. You don't want to be the same thing every week. So I've tried to continue to change and grow. And I learnt this from working outside of YouTube in the corporate world. I've worked in the television industry, the music industry. I've worked at a major corporate company, very high-end, a very high role within American Express. I did have. Sean Chandler, hello. And I talk about it all the time, American Express, not because I sit here and I'm trying to sell you the company. But the one thing I did get from working at that company, and there's a reason we're going here. I know you. Where's the AI? You may or may not like American Express. They're a credit card company. You know, what's it like? But out of all the credit card companies, there's a reason why they sit up here. And the reason is, even though people don't accept it at as many places, and the fees are really high, and that's a problem, there's a reason why it's not accepted at as many places and the fees are really high. And that's because of their membership rewards program, because it's bar none. And that's why a lot of people use that service, because the stuff they get back for spending money has a lot more value, right? And the other major thing that people use that card for and pay those exorbitant fees just to use their card is the customer service. Because when I work there, people send people from other companies to American Express to find out how we would do things. And I'm not saying how to like screw people, but the main thing we would teach, like companies like Telstra, so many big companies would come, banks, other banks would come to American Express, right? And we would teach them how to show customers their features that they have on the product that they're using, right? Because that's the thing. something's only a feature unless you can show them the benefit of the feature. If they see the feature but don't understand what the benefit is to them personally, then it's not a feature, is it? Right? So obviously, when you work in a job like that and people call you, you're expected to fix their problem. So that's the first thing. You just got to do that. But the key is to maintaining those customers and getting them to like walk away going, whoa, is to analyze their details while you're fixing their problem. And amazingly enough, like say, if you don't know this, with a credit card company, all their information comes on the screen. You get everything at a glance. Everything they spend their shit on, everything they cash in their rewards points for, you get a complete profile of that person while you're fixing their problem. And what we would do there is look at that overall profile while we fix the problem, and then at the end of the call say, by the way, I see that you spend the most here, here, and here. And did you know if you used your card for this, you would get this? In fact, earning more points that I see that you use every month. So it has to be relevant to them. So they hang up going, shit, my problem was fixed and they gave me something that I'm going to walk away from knowing how to use better to benefit me. Because that's a feature. A feature has to benefit you, or it's not a feature. Okay. So, yeah, kangaroos control our computers here too, and we feed them eucalyptus leaves and pour beer into the machines here in Australia, and the toilets spin the other way around, just like your brains, if you believe that. All right, let me keep going. So, things have to have a point. Features and things have to have a point. Now, getting back to this channel, and that's what this channel tries to have, a point of hopefully helping you do things better. Hey, Hobbs as well. I saw Hobbs come in. And Rhodey's Jam Cave, g'day. So, I want you to get better. I don't want you to be stagnant and doing the same thing over and over and feel like you're not getting anywhere. So we talk about apps. I don't tell you to buy all the apps here on this channel. Just quietly, you don't need them all. Whatever you're using to make music normally has an EQ and a compressor and reverb and all that stuff. It's built into every DAW that's around these days, or whatever it is that you make music with. It's all there. But there are external things you can use, like third-party plugins, AUV3s, AUs, VSTs on computers. So there are these things, and that's what we talk about here on the channel, so you can make an informed decision before you drop your hard-earned cash, yeah? Hey, Leanie, hello. I know, we're getting there. And in saying that, I also try to cover stuff on this channel that is, in my opinion, cutting-edge technology. Thank you, Jenny, and hello. And so if there's some new, like this thing here, which I'm going to review, hopefully this week or maybe next. I know I've fallen behind on it. Look at this pedal from IK Multimedia, this Tonex pedal. It can hold 20 captures of guitar rigs. Look how bloody small it is. That, to me, is cutting-edge technology. I love cutting-edge technology. I've always loved technology. Anything that's new, I always had to have a computer when they first came out. I had an Atari 2600 when they first came out, a Commodore 64. Every kind of new computer that came out, I've always had. If there's been some, I remember even when I was playing when I had my PlayStation 1, this backpack thing, this chest thing came out, and backpack that you put over, and it was a full body rumble pack, and you play games and the whole thing was shaking. These things I had to have. I'm so into technology and new stuff and trying to do things different ways. And that still goes today. Yeah, I'm always looking for something new. So then AI came about. And I was like, well, I want to cover that. And I've covered it here. I've done videos on, probably before a lot of people, when Midjourney first came out, I was making photos with Midjourney and here. You know, when Udio and Suno rolled out. I've done stuff on video AI, and I will continue to look at that. I have a video AI show planned soon as well too, to take the piss out of it as well. But I tried to cover this technology because it's interesting. Hi, Leela. Great performance yesterday, Leela. You stole the show, in my opinion. Stole it. Absolute babe. Mwah. Now, you just got to put that much effort into your show every day. Don't take that to heart. I'm being cheeky. Excuse me, I'm burping away here. All right. So I've covered AI here on the channel. I've had Pete Johns on, and we've talked about AI a bunch of times. Okay? So let's talk about technology, because music has always evolved, right? Music has constantly evolved as time has gone on. Now, I can't say this for sure, but it's a given that even primitive humans were using music to soothe their souls, even though they didn't know what a soul was, even if it does or does not exist. Who really cares? I'm not here to debate that. But music seems like throughout the dawn of humanity has been a thing that has either calmed the soul or, fed the soul anger, but it's emoted something, even when we didn't know how to emote. We weren't smart enough to emote. But it feels like it's always been there. And I hear it too now. I've got a little bit of experience with interviewing people, you might say. About 160 of you, in fact. Many of you who are here in this chat. There are some people who think I'm not a people person, but I am. Just not outside in the real world. They're weirdos. Hey, Mike Shanna. I always love seeing you around, Mike Shanna, and I hope you're doing well, my friend. Sorry to hear your internet was out yesterday. So, I can hear my phone going off somewhere. Where is it? It's in my pocket. Sorry about that. I hate that going off. Let's silence that. Now, where was I? What was I? I can't remember what I was saying now. Music. Oh, yeah, music. So music has been around for the longest time. And the way we make music has changed, right? We've gone from clicking sticks to where we are now with elaborate doors and recordings, home recording studios. But apparently the CEO of Spotify thinks we don't need anything to make music because, what is money? Especially when they don't have to pay us much for our music. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink, Spotify. But music has changed and we make it completely different than the way we did before. But it's always been cutting edge music. There's always been a new way to make music. And I'm sure, we've even the way we listen to music or consume music, the phonograph, to reel, to vinyl, to cassette tape, to CD, to streaming. It's always continually changing. I'm not saying if it's changed for the best or the worst, but it's continuously changing. You could say that the only reason it does change the way we consume money is because technology changes and the powers that be that control the music are just finding another way to suck money out of it, and streaming's that latest way. It's probably the best way at the moment because they're getting the most money they can and being able to offer us as little. We're probably in times right now where we're making the least money we've ever made from music as musicians, which is not good. But that's a whole nother story that we talk about here on the channel as well. So, because the powers that be, they don't really give a shit about musicians, do they? Not at all. They just want us to make more and just emote and just put everything into our songs and emote and feel all this stuff and put it out so these unfeeling can just take it and give us not much back. But we know about this. We know this is going on. But the way we've made music has grown as well. So you would go into a recording studio and everything was analog, and it was tape to tape, and to do another take, you'd have to cut tape, and it was all a big process. And then over time, new instruments have been made. The one thing that doesn't grow is the scales. We're still using the same old fucking scales, aren't we? I can't see them growing any more in the future. So there's that. Scales aren't really going to go any further. But the way we make music continues to get easier for us too, to the fact now that we don't have to go into a studio and pay exorbitant amounts of money somebody else to sit there with all that knowledge. We can learn. We have things like YouTube to learn all this stuff, and so we're in a better position to make music. Hello, Greg O'Sullivan, aka Girlfriend in Your Luggage. So I got the dry horrors today, and I didn't smoke any weed. And in making music, these things have changed too. Now I don't remember this, but I remember when synthesis came out. Let's just start there, right? Just with synthesis. And the Moog came out, the Moog synthesizer. The whole world of music lost its ever-loving mind. This was the end of music. Synthesizers, there's going to be no more music because synthesizers. I mean, we go back even further when rock and roll came out, parents lost their mind. Satan is in our house, rock and roll, it's the end of the world. And it wasn't. And the same thing happened with synthesis, right? It came, it had a boom, and now it's just integrated into music overall. During the 80s too, so the 70s synthesis happened, and it was very primitive. Way before that, the technology was being invented. And by the 70s, the Moog comes out. Into the 80s, it was used everywhere. Some of the greatest songs of all time that you and me love were made with a fucking Moog. That's just, you can't deny that. And it's the part of Moog history. Then we had the era during the 80s, right, where all of a sudden artists were, being manufactured. Stock Aitken and Waterman in the UK had artists like Rick Astley, and we all were up in arms over that, where they were taking these artists who really had not much talent and writing all these pre-packaged songs for them and creating this package and putting it out there. And it seemed so, you could tell it was all coming from the same producers. Kylie Minogue, all these artists were all coming from the same producer. We're like, again, this is the end of music. It's over. It's all over. But Milli Vanilli, rest one of your souls, kind of put a stop to that, didn't they? Because they got found out when they were miming stuff, and that kind of thing disappeared to the wayside. But it really eventually just integrated into today's pop music because it's still happening now, And don't get me wrong here about songwriting. For time immemorial of commercialized music, the biggest artists in the world, the majority of them don't write their own stuff. They have writers. There are so many people out there who have made more money than, the artist that's singing their song that is a celebrity themselves from writing all this material for Elton John and Whitney Houston and all this, right? So remember, there's people out there that you'll never have heard of that have written some of the biggest songs ever in the world. So there's another layer of music out there, right? Elton John, yeah, exactly. So there's that. So this kind of thing before, like these manufactured pop artists were already there, right? It was already kind of happening. People were already writing material for. Then we had this revolution, they say, of where television ran out of ideas completely to create, I don't know, entertaining television or television that like costs a little bit more, and reality TV came in. And where did reality TV kick in? With using musicians, as always. Because we're just so usable, aren't we? We're just so expendable. You know, just take their feelings and suck it. We're kind of like the music industry is just like this huge soul-sucking machine. It's like, here's this artist. I'm singing this song about my feelings. Do I detect feelings over there? Get out the soul sucker. Suck all their material out of them. I've left with nothing. Can I have a few cents for my song? No, more? You want some more? We are all like versions of Oliver Twist with our little musical ditties, giving them up, being chewed up and spat out. You know, we're incredibly expendable as musicians. And the revolution, oh God, I hate saying that word around reality television, has proven that. Look at that. Look at those shows. And look what they do. They take people, and they like the big problem I have overall is the way they take people that they hope for are going to sign up, and those are the people that don't have much talent, but they've been living in this weird bubble around their family and everything of their parents and loved ones going, "You can sing, Timmy. You really can sing." And then they go on American Idol and go, "I can sing. I can really sing because Mummy told me." And then they sing and the judges go, "You're a loser." And little Timmy's crushed. And everybody sits there going, "Oh." Most of the time, little Timmy gets more coverage than the actual winner of the show. Because they do more and more specials on all the losers who couldn't make it. And the people who win, guess what they get to be? That pre-packaged product from the 80s, that stock Aitken and Waterman, that we all were like, oh, is this where the music industry is going? And that's what it did happen. That's what it evolved into. It evolved from Kylie Minogue and you know, Rick Astley and all that kind of stuff. And it went, let's put that in a TV show. That's what happened. All right? But they are people. That's the thing. Exactly, Hugh. They're people. And one of the major things about the reality TV that pisses me off is that when those people leave that show and the television show's got all their fucking advertising and they've all, ha, 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 Timmy was a joke. Timmy's got to go home and then go to school and go and deal with people in real life. And guess what? Everyone's like, ha, that's Timmy, the absolute right? There's no like psychiatric care after that or mental health care. It's just, off you go, Timmy. We've drained you of your content. Now go away. Goodbye. So obviously I'm not painting a good picture of the music industry and television industry because they suck. But again, this is a thing, a part of the music industry that we went, it's the end. Let's talk about this. Vocals. Now, nearly every vocal on nearly every pop album has some form of, you know, vocalization repair, melodyne, whatever you want to call it. So vocals aren't what they seem. You can take somebody who can't sing for crap and you can put it through a piece of software and you can make their voice sound in tune. That's where we're at. That's the deception. Why? Because money, because people who run this industry just need more and more and more. And do you sometimes think there's a reason why media wants us to attack each other all the time and to be so volatile and so upset with each other and so emotive? Because we create more. If we're not stuck in an echo chamber on Facebook, if you're able to walk away from those things, you create stuff. So they want us to be at each other's throats. They want us to be upset, so we create more. We're not creating enough, even with home recording studios for the record labels to, or maybe we're not creating enough that's good in their opinion or what sells. So auto-tune comes along and auto-tune helps them take somebody who can't sing for shit and make it sound good because it's easy to get more stuff out there to people. And there's that. Then AI comes along. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, I've covered AI on here, and I'm all for cutting-edge technology, and I'm fascinated by it. But the more the magic curtain gets removed from AI, and we turn out it is a little bit Wizard of Oz, it's just a whole bunch of data sets of shit that they scraped illegally from the internet, and they break it down into little bite-sized pieces. And so when people put in a prompt, it takes those words it associates with those pieces, and it pulls those pieces down, and it puts it all together like a little glue pot, and then it spits it out for you. And once the curtain's pulled away, you kind of go, not so intelligent after all. It's really just processing speed. And that's why AI companies out there like Suno and Udio and Midjourney and all of them, no matter if it's music, video, imagery, it costs so much to subscribe to them for a couple of reasons. A, they're greedy, like most people. B, it takes a lot of server. It takes a lot of computation to take all that data and be able to put it together to manufacture the thing you want in a timely manner. It's not actually about you making good music. Just remember that, because if it was, I don't know, you'd invest in people, because people make music. Getting back to why I do this. I want to help people make music. I want to keep learning myself. I want to make music. I'm a person. Believe it or not, I'm a person with feelings. So we have these AI companies that, when I first heard of AI, the first time you hear AI to me was like in video games. You know, there's the characters that are walking around that I have to kill. They are AI. Because everything you play in video games is about killing people, because that's where we're at. Imagine there was a game out there where you could just like walk around and love people. That'd be really boring, wouldn't it? That wouldn't sell. Why would that sell? Huh. Anyway, thoughts you have. So AI, to me, started there, like artificial intelligent characters in a game or something like that. Hey, Midnight Band, I haven't said hello to you. Hello. And to me, when I thought about application for AI, I had this image of like AI helping us solve problems that we clearly haven't been able to solve yet. Because believe it or not, folks, it's only been really the last 100 years on this planet that we've had advancements of such a monumental, growth rate. And there's still a lot more we have not worked out. Much we have not worked out. We haven't even covered, a majority of what's, underneath the ocean, and we don't even know really what's inside the earth. It's all ideas and scientific ideas that continuously change, because that's science. As we find out more, we change those ideas and they develop and we get smarter, right? So we really haven't grown at it hasn't been a long time of being smart, or intelligent, if you want to say that. So to me, artificial intelligence seems like an opportunity to have this computational power to solve some of the problems that we can't. I don't know, like fucking cancer? just a thought. I don't know, NS. I don't know, all the things that fucking break our heart. I don't know, faster recoveries for people who have strokes. I don't know, the things that fucking matter. But apparently not. Apparently, AI somehow took a wrong turn at Albuquerque and decided to be, I don't know, let's just take every form of creative fucking passion out of humans that we possibly can, because, I don't know, there's money to be made. Because we've taken everything else from them. Their fucking rent's ridiculous. The food costs way too much money, right? Fucking everything's so ridiculous. Inflation is ridiculous. The governments don't care. They're all in the pockets of corporations. There's no conspiracy, folks. It's right in front of your face. They keep taking and taking and taking till you've got nothing. They just don't give a fuck, really. And that's their one job, is to like take our money that we pay in taxes and they help us. So why not? Let's take the only things they have left. Their passion. They're things that keep them going through all this bullshit that we do to people on a massive scale. Because I don't know about you, because I can't speak for you, but I see it in these communities here on YouTube. I see it on a broader scale. As a musician, it feels good to make music and make something and finish it and put it out there, even if nobody listens to it. It feels nice. It's a part of you. It's come from you, no matter, right? It's come from you, and it's a beautiful thing. And I see it all the time. I see the shows we have here that play people's music and the support that people get and love having compliments and the comments people leave. And it's awesome. So how did AI go from like solving actual problems, like problems that we need to fix? And I feel like I can't even go into them because there are some people like, that's not real. It's whatever, wherever you sit on these things. But there are problems that we can solve with this technology, with this computational power. And I don't think any of it's around music, right? We're already doing well making things to help us make music. We've already got guitars that are amazing, and we got DAWs and look at this gear. Look at something like this that I get to record through every day. All this stuff I have. It's awesome already. And it allows me to take my feelings and put them into something, to channel through my hands and through my vocals and play things and strum things and do all that stuff. The stuff that is physical and touching and doing that. And even if it's, for the longest time, I talked about this on my Boomer show. I used to look at dance music and go, that's not music. But it wasn't because it's not music. It's because I listened to metal and I was very blinkered. And then you grow up and actually, you're not a cockhead. Hey, Jerry Gomes, Feisty Feather. If I've missed you, I do apologise. I'm on a rant. I'm on a tear. I'm getting to the point. If I have missed you, I do apologise. So I'm quite happy with all these great tools that come out. Let's take an ad break while I collect my thoughts. Every day on the show, we do an ad break. As I mentioned at the start of the show, I've got to pay the bills these days. It sucks, I know. You may or may not get an ad. If you do, you can skip it or become a premium subscriber. Let's run the ad. I don't have anything to show you for what's coming up this week because the way I run the channel now is like I'm doing shit day by day. It's a lot of stress. But I can tell you the interview this week is with Michael Thompson. He's here in the audience. Hi, Robbie Stingle. So he's here in the audience. That's happening this week. That is our interview. And there's a lot of cool stuff. I'll be continuing to work on Adam Burse's song. There's a special thing happening tomorrow. Walk With Me is happening this Wednesday. I went to the Lego exhibition. It was good fun. You'll love it. Okay, we're back. I don't have a problem with Udio and Suno, right? It's fun to make music with it. And this is just my opinion, so take it as you will, all right? You're not making music with it. It's not your song. It's stolen. Now, I've heard people say, but what about loops? Well, loops are a loop. It's a section. And it's looped. But guess what? It was normally made by a fucking person. What about pre-recorded Apple loops and stuff made by a fucking person? Somebody made that loop for you. Somebody didn't sit there and go, I would like a loop that is poo, 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 poo. No, didn't happen. That's not how it works. With AI music, I'm all for you make something with AI music and then split the stems up and take a part of it and then add something to it. Sweet. Awesome. You've taken something from it and then created something. But the people who are just making the music and just putting in the prompts and then going, that's a finished song and it's mine. I own it. Go and read the terms and conditions. You don't, even if you paid for the service. If that song gets big, they can take the money. Sorry, you're an idiot. I keep seeing it all the time on these YouTube channels, and it's 100% yours. No, it's not. Read, moron. Read. It's not. You own the ability to use it and make money from it, but it's not yours. Sorry. There you go. We've got to get that out there because who reads terms and conditions? Nobody. So loops are made by somebody, right? Now, you can argue that AI music's made by somebody as well, and it is. But guess what? They didn't authorize you to use it. Samples and things, most of the time, if you take you take a sample from a big song and put it into your song, they'll come after you. Because it's a popular song. They own copyright to it. And you can cry till the cows come home about copyright, but copyright shouldn't exist. It does, and people should get paid for what they make. We already make absolutely all for what we create, as we've discussed here. They want to suck as much out of us as they can, these labels, and they want to give us as little as they can. It is just, that is the way it is. So if you're crying about copyright and stuff, but it doesn't matter. Udo and Suno and Udo have admitted they have scraped the internet for this stuff. They have scraped free stuff from YouTube. Your music, my music, everyone's music. Doesn't matter who. That's where they've got it from. So until they start paying copyright for it, I hope they get the shit suit out of them. The other problem is, let's think bigger. We've talked about this as well too, is that the record labels are only suing these companies because they want to take their artists, say Mariah Carey. They want to take her and they want to sell you her voice. And Udo and Suno, who cares what their names are, Suno and Udo, they're now getting that money, or these companies that are taking AI voices and making money from it. The record labels, they're suing them because they want to take those voices and they want to be able to sell them to you. So you can then pay Warner the money to use one of their artists. That's how it's working. Don't be fooled. Pull back the curtain and see why. And that's the way it is. They're not like suing these companies because they actually give a shit about their musicians. They don't. No. They want to use that technology to sell it to us. They want to sell us Mariah Carey's voice so we can use it in our songs. Right? And that's cool. That's, if you want to pay that money to do that, then do it. At least, but again, the thing is, Mariah Carey's going to get this much of that. So again, it's another technology that they want to buy to control, to pay not much, to suck everything out. Right? So why, if I've done shows on AI and shown you how to do this stuff, am I so against it? Well, we're at that point now. Why this show exists today. Again, full circle, I love this community. I love this. I love seeing people grow. I don't like all music, and I see we're all at different levels, and I think everybody can get better and better, and that's why I want to do this all the time and see people grow and get better, right? Because we all don't know everything. I don't know everything, and I'm glad for that. Because what would be the point of waking up every day if you knew everything? I want to wake up and learn something new every day. It's been a massive pleasure being able to share people's music. I don't do it as much as other channels do. I used to have a featured artist. I don't get to do that anymore. There's reasons for that. But seeing shows like Thomas Christ and Pete Johns and Metalhead Hippie and Chad Freeman, and there's lots of people who play people's music. And it's so wonderful to have an outlet to play that music. I love it. It's great. But last week I saw something shit that I don't like. Thomas had some people send some music in that were completely generated by AI. And I've got a problem with that because I don't particularly want an AI-generated song being in amongst all of our music because it don't take any talent to make fucking AI music. Fight me on it. AI music, even if it gets better sounding, the quality gets better over time, it still doesn't sound like a person. It doesn't emote properly. And even if it gets to that point, is that the world you want to live in? I don't. And Thomas played the tracks and I called it straight away out in the chat. And I will continue to call it out in people's chats. Because guess what, folks? You may think I'm not at your show, but I'm nearly at all your shows. And I don't always chat. You know why? Because I'm fucking burnt out from doing this. It just is what it is. I'm burnt out and I don't have the time to invest in chatting, but I'm at your shows. And I'm going to call out every fucking song that is an AI-generated song from start to finish because it's bullshit and it takes away your time and your effort and your passion. And to see somebody sit there going, but it took time for me to piece together the parts to make... No, it didn't, you fucking liar. It's not music. It's a bunch of words. And it's random and you put it in and it comes back with stuff that you didn't ask for. And you have to do it again and again and you have to try and word it perfectly so it sounds like something that you generally want, but it's never going to sound right and it always sounds fake. Where I appreciate AI music is for an opening for a show or like Gladys Worthington. I have like this little music for Gladys. It's silly, right? Funny songs and stuff like that. I get it, right? That's really handy and really cool to do. I like that. If you've got a YouTube channel and you need a quick jingle for your thing, yeah, cool, why not? Hey, you know, were you going to pay somebody to make that? You weren't. Anyways, you're not taking somebody's job. It's something for your particular channel. It's suited, the words are based around your channel or your brand or whatever. Sweet. But if you're sitting there in a chat where other people have put together music, blood, sweat and tears and collaborated with others and you're up there going, no, this is mine, I made it. Fuck you. No, you didn't. You're a liar. And we can tell, and I'm going to call it out every time I see it. And Thomas stopped playing it halfway through. And I respect Thomas for that. I respect you heaps, Thomas, for doing that, going, yep, not playing that, that's not fair. And I know for a fact, I think Pete Johns and Thomas have now put on their forms, I'm not sure if Pete put it on the form, is this AI music. Then Hippie had a show on the weekend. And there was an AI artist on there too. And I'm not saying their name, but everybody in the chat was going, this is amazing. It's like nothing I've ever heard about. Fucking bullshit. The name of the AI was in the title of the artist. Udio. The whole song was generated by AI. And everybody was just going, this is bullshit, man. Bullshit. Fuck off. It's not music. Remember, this is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. You can be angry at me all you fucking want if you're using that. But the majority of YouTube channels I see where they're like praising AI and going, look how amazing it is. They're not fucking musicians, are they? And you know what? It takes a long time to be a musician. It takes a lot of fucking sweat, learning, practice, getting cut down, people telling you you're not good enough, imposter syndrome, all the emotions that come with making music. And if you're sitting there just putting in a prompt and then going, I'm just a muso with everybody else, you're not. Sorry. Fail. There's plenty of places to learn to make music. Plenty of places. It's free these days. YouTube, there's so many places to learn. If you really want to be a musician, get into it. Get amongst it. It's so affordable to do it. Not as affordable as what the CEO of Spotify thinks. But he's a cocksucker. So, whatever. But get into it, man. Put your lyrics into something. Collaborate with somebody. Don't just type in a bunch of prompts and let it come back. I saw somebody say, but wouldn't believe how long it takes for me to like piece together the parts to make them all flow into each. I even heard somebody say that AI is like VSTs. No, VSTs basically are, right? They take, a lot of them take gear, real gear, like amplifiers and stuff, and put it into software so you don't have to lug around gear. That's the most part, yeah? It's a tool that you've still got to sing something into. Taking pieces of other people's fucking music, putting it all together and then spitting it out to you is not a VST. It doesn't work like that. Yeah? That's not how it works. Fucking Mongo, bongos. All right. As you can tell, I'm really passionate about this because I don't want to see the people who've been trying their ass off and trying to get better and better and better and better and are getting better be replaced with some dumb shit typing in a bunch of prompts. I want to see AI be used to solve problems. Cancer, MS, the amount of diseases that are out there and things that fucking suck. Fix infrastructure. Fix the way we do things. Help people fucking fix poverty. Fucking hell, man. Are we forgetting? There's people living in boxes on a street and people walk past them and go, fuck, they're not human. They're not even human. Just... That needs to be fixed with AI. There's got to be ways we can use this computational power to fix these things before we start taking away our creativity. And the reason I have these feelings is because I've sat here and I've shown you these things. And I'm going to do it now. Let's finish with this. I've got some lyrics here for a song of mine called Do What Makes You Happy. And to me, this is one of the most emotional songs. Oh, no, this is truth. One of the most emotional songs I've written. You can disagree. That's all right. I'm just going to take the first verse and chorus here. I'm going to put it in audio and see what it can do with something so emotional that means so much to me. Or we'll use Suno. I'm going to go into custom here in Suno. I'm going to paste these lyrics in. So this is the chorus. We're going to put parentheses. Oops. No, do it right. Yeah. Chorus. This is a hang on. What am I doing here? Let's go from the top. So here's our verse. This will only take a minute to do. Then we've got Pete Johns. We've got 4 minutes to do this. Let's go up. Verse. Verse. Like a pre-chorus here. Then we got a second verse. 2. This is the chorus. Parentheses. And we'll remove all the rest of this stuff. Let me scroll up. Okay. All up to there. Yoink. Now, let's put in the style of music. Emotional. Slow. Piano. I guess we'll call it pop music. That'll do. truth. Generate. Oh, look how magic it is. Look, I'm making music, everybody. I'm making music. Look at me, I'm making music. I didn't do anything to learn how to make music. I'm just making music. Look at me. I'm a musician. I didn't pay any of my dues. I have no idea about music. Oh, look, it's already made them. I'm a magical musician. Oh, I want to play the song now. I'm a musician.
How can anybody justify the greed and endless overeating when 3/4 of our species still need feeding? Slavery rewards
What?
medication to eradicate our feelings. Religious dogma, fear, and guilt are burning hell for not believing. Stand up, it's never too late to change your life. Just speak the truth. We can finally be free to fly.
Hang on. What's the other one? Pete Johns is up next, folks. I'll dump you over.
How can anybody justify the greed and endless overbreeding when 3/4 of our species still need feeding? Slavery rewards us medication to eradicate our feelings.
Sounds human.
Just dogma, fear, and guilt are burning hell for not believing. Stand up, it's never too late to change your life.
But
Just
it's
speak the
so
truth,
amazing
we can
in the
finally
way
be
they
free to
capture the
fly.
moment.
The number 42 is our best answer to validate our meaning. Distracted by the gadgets in our hands, on demand and always streaming.
Fuck off. I think I made my point. Remember, folks, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. We'll all rise together. Stay awake. And for the love of God, keep making music. Keep trying to hold on to being as much of a person as you possibly can. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep telling the politicians, keep telling everybody, no. I don't want to be divided. I just want you to listen to what I need. We're people. We have feelings. We have emotions. We don't know how they work. We don't know anything. But I'll tell you what I do know. Music saves me every day. Probably saves you too. So keep doing it. I love what you do. That's Oj. Pete Johns up next. See you later.